Welcome back to The Great Expanse by John Bat 426. For some reason, they're destroying something outside. So if you hear this high-pitched whine, somebody decided to mow their lawn while I'm recording for you guys. So when the day comes where I can equalize which sounds I can take out of the recording, and you'll have to live with this kind of stuff. So maybe if I speak louder, maybe. So, again, if you appreciate what you see on this channel, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications, all. So when a new video is dropped, you will be the second person to know about it. I will be the voice. All right? And I appreciate you guys coming back and watching these videos. Watch all of them, please. Repeatedly. Tell people you know. Tell people you don't know. Tell people you're on iffy terms with. People you're estranged from. Say, I can't stand your guts, but I want you to watch this. All right. So, we're going to recap She-Hulk Episode 2, Superhuman Law. Let me check my notes, because I took notes, because I don't do live reactions. I basically do these. Recaps, retellings, retorts, reports. Alright? So, first thing I noticed was that Tatiana's wig looks tacky as She-Hulk. Does that affect the quality of the series? Not at all. But I just couldn't resist saying that. Right? So, there's some interesting notes on Titania, the chick that She-Hulk backsmacked, then had arrested. They refer to her as a superhuman influencer who was fleeing traffic court. Okay, so we brought Titania down from supervillain to superhuman influencer fleeing traffic court. Okay, so in the same note, She-Hulk is at a bar. People are celebrating her. Her boss comes to her and says, "You're fired for turning into She-Hulk and saving the jury." Why? I think I know the answer to this. It was on Double Jeopardy last week. The plot demanded it. I mean, sorry. I'm supposed to word it in the form of a question. Miam, sorry. What is the plot demands it? Got it. All right, the plot demands it. Okay. So she's calling around trying to get a job. She's a working human being, a working adult, so she's looking for work. You make money. They're all saying no. They said they don't need the distraction. What law firms wouldn't hire somebody that can turn into the She-Hulk and bring publicity to their law firms? What is the plot demands it? Got it again. Boy, I'm going 2 for 2. Yes, I might win Double Jeopardy tonight, or Final Jeopardy. So she was fired for saving the jury. A mistrial was declared. And so she's sulking at home. Nobody wants to hire her. So she has a family get-together. She brought a pie. And this had National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation written all over it. When her father said, "I'm not going to tell anybody that you got fired," or to bring it up, I knew the first line out of somebody's mouth was going to be, "You got fired?" Or "It must suck for you to got fired." I'm feeling really good, Miam. What is a character brought it up immediately as their first line? I'm 3 for 3 on She-Hulk. Let me tell you the issue I have with the show. It's not the acting. It's not the graphics. I think it looks pretty good, actually. It's the tone. The tone of this show is not to be taken seriously. At all. This is basically a cartoon with real people in it. Nothing. So She-Hulk gets hired by the guy she was representing in the first episode, Mr. Holloway, who I think set up the encounter with Titania and Jennifer Walters so he could see the She-Hulk in action. That's my theory. I think he set it all up. He says, "I want you to be the face of our Superhuman Law division at GLK&H. And I'll think of something clever for GLK&H as initials later. Because it's kind of a mouthful. So he says, "I want you to be the face of the Superhuman division." He says, "But you can't do it as Jennifer Walters. You need to be She-Hulk." So she has this moment where she's like, "But they want me to be She-Hulk. You were fired for being She-Hulk. You were complaining about being She-Hulk. Now somebody wants to pay you for being She-Hulk and you have an issue with it?" Saith the plot. Okay, all right. If the plot said so, I'm going to stay away from it. So he says, "The first person I want you to represent is Emil Blonsky." the guy from the Incredible Hulk movie. So she's like, he tried to kill my cousin. That would be a conflict of interest. He said, here's a conflict waiver. Blonsky wants you to represent him. She goes to the prison, which has a strange shape to it. And it's like, she's trying to quit the guards. The guards are like, this is a prison. She's like, oh, okay. So there's this buildup that this is a dangerous individual. The Abomination is stronger than the Hulk until the Hulk gets angry. That's always been known in comic book lore. But that was comic books. This is this era of stuff. So he's in a cell, in the middle of the room. There's no bed. They're just like, wait, was there a bed? Or did he just roll it out? Or whatever. But anyway. So I'm like, finally, something concrete. And he goes, namaste. It was almost as deflating as the reveal of the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. He's like, yeah, I'm sending out cleverly worded haikus to all my victims. And I have 7 soulmates that I met in the prison Penpal program. I'm like, Marvel just can't help itself. They just can't help themselves. They just have a sickness of making everything like Candyland floss. Or candy floss, as the Joker said in The Killing Joke. They just can't help themselves. They're just habitual with this stuff. And no, I wasn't seeking a curse word in by saying habitual. It's an actual word. Habitual. So she agrees to be Blonsky's attorney. She calls Hulk. They have great reception, even though he's in a spaceship outside of the planet's atmosphere. What kind of phone service she got? If I go to the back of my house, I got shoddy service. And she has a great connection with somebody that's outside of the atmosphere. And it looked like the Hulk was taken off in the same ship that caused him to go over the cliff in the first place. And so the episode ends, and it seemed to go by kind of quick. It's only like 20-something episodes. With her boss, who told her to take on Blonsky as a client, saying, you might want to turn on the news. And it says the Abomination has escaped from prison. And he was found in an underground fight club, which immediately reminded me of the Justice League Unlimited episode Grudge Match, where all the female heroines were under the influence of sonar, and they were fighting, having like those cage matches or whatever. Great episode, by the way. And the mid-credit scene of this episode is her doing household chores. No, I'm just staring into oblivion. There's nothing wrong with the reception here. Marvel just can't help themselves. The tone of this is joke. Total joke. Even though we do have 2 plot threads now. The Hulk is going into outer space. That might lead to something. Maybe it's leading to another movie from Marvel. But it's something to think about. And the Abomination. Is he coming and going? Is she just going to beat him up and bring him back to whatever the name of the prison is? I don't know. But again, I don't have any problem with the actors or actresses. It's the tone. You just immediately took all the piss and vinegar out of the character by making him a joke. Why? And now Titania, who was like a big deal in Secret Wars from the 80s, now she's a superhuman influencer fleeing traffic court. Marvel, what is your deal? What is your deal? Why? Why do you do these things? But anyway, if I'm going to give it a grade, I think this is maybe a little better or maybe just as good as the previous episode. So I'm going to give it a B. Not B for botched or B for bad, but just A, B, C, D, E, or F. It's a B. I don't know if they'll ever get an A with this tone. I'm sorry. This tone is not doing it for me. Now, if I got to compare it unfairly from the first 2 episodes compared to the first 2 episodes of Loki, first 2 episodes of WandaVision, first 2 episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is a distant 7 out of 4. I didn't see Hawkeye. I couldn't get through Ms. Marvel. But this is 7th out of 4. That's how bad this is so far, compared to the other ones I mentioned. But that was my opinion. Tell me your opinion. Write a dissertation if you have to in the comment section. We can go back and forth respectfully. Or if you get disrespectful, whatever, I'm a grown-up. And tell all your friends, tell your foes, tell those you don't know about The Great Expanse by John Bap 426 so that Great Expanse can expand. Peace.